We're still on a live show.
Okay. We have begun the stream yet again. Now she can hear me. She's changed devices. I don't know if you'll have to go to a completely new stream or if it'll pick up where we left off.
I'm on my phone now. Can you hear me okay?
I can hear you great.
Awesome.
That's
I hear your doggy. Your doorbell's going.
that's my dog. Okay, it's gonna do the same thing as like what happened with Shane's, which was start a complete new stream.
Okay.
So we'll have to wait for people to figure that out and come in.
That's awesome. At least I had the photos go through the first
Photos.
part of the stream because they were on my laptop.
Baxter, now both my dogs are being set off. Hold on. Let's get to where they can see you.
That was crazy.
It was weird. Definitely weird. And let me see where I can read the chat. Oh yeah, I
I
can't.
mean,
Well,
we
I
do
can.
have
I can.
Dorian
I
on
can.
our doorstep. It's like I'm on the Gulf side and it's like 160 miles away starting to hit the coastline over by Miami. So I should be okay with winds and rain 160 miles away, you would think, right?
This is like night and day. Even your image looks better. Your picture.
That's crazy. You're on my Android, my Samsung S10 Plus. Nice and clear. I can hear you, I can see you. It's awesome.
Wow. How is it for you guys? Is it this much better?
I
Can
hope
you?
so because I
Can
can't see the chat now.
you can?
Here's my Palma Poo. She's come up to say hello. Say hello.
My dog probably set your dog off. I'm sorry.
That's all right.
They talk to each other. They have their own
She's
language.
gonna hang out with me and sit on my lap while I chat to you guys, aren't you? This is Mocha. She's my daughter's dog. She is adorable and a handful.
Okay, let's get down to brass tacks. I'm going to share with you guys a couple photos that one of them is a few years old. It was one that my son took, which when Eileen showed the one with the light coming from, it reminded me of that image that my, let's give you a little backstory. My son was working on his car with my husband, and I was watching them, and you know how your heart just warms just seeing them. So then my son came in and he sat down where my husband normally sits. Well, there was a shelf next to me, and all my movies. My husband buys me all these movies, and they were all on this shelf. And on the other side was where the light source was. Well, he sat down and saw something strange coming out of my eyes. So he snapped a photo. And that's where this image came from. We're going to lose the image of Eileen just for a second while I pull this up for you guys. It
Cool.
is, let me see, the photo that Tyler took. There.
Oh yeah. I remember that. That's like your icon for YouTube.
Yes, and for people, they just look at it and they don't think nothing of it. It took me forever to even share this with anybody or even talk about it, because as you can see, the light is on the wrong side of the shelf. This,
And it's like your face has disappeared. It's
yeah,
like there's only bangs, hair, and a light.
and then see where my heart is.
Yes.
There's another light source there. And again, it's on the wrong. If you look at the poles, those are those shelves with the movies. The sun
Yeah.
is on the other side.
Of
So,
the poles.
right. So the light didn't. It can't wrap itself around. There was no mirroring. There was nothing there for it to reflect off of. And if there was, how did it break so
It's like a
cleanly?
mirror. It's like a mirror over your face and your third eye
It was amazing, and my heart. And at
and
the
your heart.
in my heart that time, like I said, I was watching them work together, and my heart was just warming and expanding, just, so much love watching them work together on the vehicle and everything like that. But it took me forever to even show this photo, let
That's so
alone
cool.
the ones that we got from ESETI. Now, the ones that I had, that one broke down, authenticated and broke down, and then he wanted to continue to do some work with it, and this is what he came up with, and I call this photo Rainbow Room, and you'll see why in just a moment. Let me get rid of that one and pull
I love
up.
the plasma galaxy wormhole behind you too today.
Yeah,
Super cool.
isn't it fitting? Okay, now let me
That
get
looks like a Picasso. That looks so cool. I know which photo this is
this
because
is
I've looked at them a lot.
yeah, and if you watch the 5D photo analysis video, this is where he's got like 25 years of experience. I really, admire like sky watchers that are able to pull the images through, because we see in 3D. Well, the camera only takes it takes 3D and then squishes it into 2D, but
Yeah.
actually what we have is 7 or more dimensions showing in this one picture. And if you know how to pull it through, you can see the other images that are like right there out of our eyes view, but it's there.
So what's going on? I see the two chairs, and I know you're in the table tipping ceremony where James called in interdimensional beings like galactic family.
Mm-hmm.
And I know there's a glass door behind you that took a reflection
Mm-hmm.
of you. So what's happening there? Is that your blonde hair in the one chair?
Mm-hmm. And
Is
then
Joe next to you?
mm-hmm. But in this image, he actually it looks like he's almost invisible. But when you go through the layer stacks, there, the bottom part of me, you see from my shoulders up, but from my shoulders down, the chair is still there, but I'm not
Yeah.
in it. I'm gone.
I can see the chairs easily, but what's going on around the chairs is so cool. And the pictures remind me of, preliminals art. That's what that reminds me of because, am I saying it right? Preliminal? The
Yeah,
artwork
and
is
this was him
incredible.
stacking all the layers on top of each other. But he went through and told me each layer, why he did it, because he has to. There was so much color showing in the actual photo that he actually
Yeah.
had to wash the color out in order to pull the images that were hiding under all this color. And
I see
I,
a head above you. I see eyes, a pointy chin, and a mouth. I don't know if people can see that image above Michelle's hair. And I remember there's almost like a reptilian eye on the other side. And reptilians aren't so bad, they get a bad rap. But if you read the UFO Beyond UFOs book from the Edgar Mitchell Foundation, people who work with reptilians say they're not that bad. They're just kind of scary looking. And then didn't
I've
you pull out cats? You pulled out cats.
oh yeah, yeah. I've sent that image over to somebody that I know is familiar with the different species. See, I don't know what an Orion being looks like. A feline being is pretty self-explanatory, and Pleiadian is almost humanoid looking. And those were easy to spot out in that. I do not know what an Orion, but there was other things in that one image too. So that one will be coming out later.
Lots of cats.
Oh,
I
there are
understand there's
lots
at
of
least
cats.
three cat beings.
Big cats.
James mentioned Sekhmet, which is the cat goddess of ancient Egypt, but she's the other side of Hathor, who is the cow goddess of ancient Egypt, and her loving, nurturing side was depicted as a cow, and her fierce, protective side was pictured as a lion. So eventually there was a cult of Sekhmet, which was the lion goddess, and there was a cult of Hathor, which was the cow or the ox goddess. And they're really the same being, the two sides of a nurturing mother who will protect her children fiercely, right?
And you think about there's about 60 people in here. Were you at this table tipping, sir? Wasn't it
I was.
awesome? So
Yeah.
when you were
In
looking at
fact,
all these colors, we
if
were
you
it.
look in your picture, when you see blue behind James, that's my turquoise shirt. And it was really cool watching your videos because you could see the blue right behind James across from you. I was straight across from you. And if you looked behind James, you saw a blob of blue. I was the blue blob.
You're the
I
blue
was the
blob.
turquoise.
When we got the photo of them, they almost had like a glow to their face. Their faces were
Yeah.
glowing, and then
And
everybody
all
else's faces were blurred. In
they all
when I
got
was sharing
blurred.
that.
Everything
Hmm.
was blurred. I couldn't believe it. And didn't he say the room was spinning? So
Like a
we're all
vortex.
spinning at the same time in a vortex?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yep.
I kept getting dizzy, Eddie said, and I kept getting turned around. I have this great internal compass of north, south, east, west. And when I met John Binney at the airport, I said, yeah, I'm kind of like a homing pigeon. I can always tell where north is, and I always do it based on where the water is. Like if there's an ocean or a lake nearby, I can figure out where that is,
That's
like a
fine,
tuning
Lyra.
rod.
If you want the actual photo, I will send that to you too. Just let me know. I was talking to the chat.
Yeah, send them the
And
original ones
you know,
too.
Marianne, I got to tell you one thing that I was going to say about this. There's 60 people in this room. So what we're looking at here is a combined energy vortex of all these loving beings and us with our
Yeah,
unconditional love, our energy flooding the
yep.
room, showing. That's why I call it Rainbow Room, because we're all. You guys are seeing my arm waving around and stuff, with no head.
I can see your arm, yes.
Dun, 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 dun. But that's why I call it Rainbow Room, is because it's a combined energy field of everybody that was in there. But that room was packed, especially when you get a glimpse at that pink photo. There's 60-ish people in there, plus all of those beings. It was amazing.
Yeah.
I'd never been to anything like that before. It was a new experience. We didn't have any expectations. We came in as
Yeah.
observers, and boy, did we get some treasures.
I felt disoriented in terms of direction the whole time. And I would walk out of our little guest house and I would go, which way is the Skywatch field? I was constantly getting turned around there. Were you?
I, I, I am very good with direction, knowing which way is north, south, east, west. But when I was inside the medicine wheel and I was meditating, I
Hmm.
didn't know what direction I was facing. I had
No,
no idea. So all of those inner compasses, uh, they were off. So obviously
everything was off.
they are vortexes. We're spinning, and direction is just a sense of navigation. But when you're in a vortex, there is no sense of navigation. You're just in it, and you're going. You're being transported to
I
wherever it
wonder why
is.
some places are thinner than others, where people can easily go into the vortexes rather than in their own home and their own city and their own town. Why do you think some places have a thinner veil
I
to other
don't
dimensions?
I don't know. The photo that was taken by my son was here in my home. So I do believe that people themselves, as we are evolving, can become a sacred space. You do your inside
Yeah,
work and you become a sacred space, and then you can consecrate your living area, your space. Now, for James to bring in all different sorts of people, lots of skeptics and different sorts, you know, that takes a lot of energetic to keep that ground sacred on his part. I think to maybe that's why he shuts it down from Monday at noon until not opening it till Thursday, so he can rebalance the earth. This is a beautiful place, and it's definitely a thin spot. He's got something, and the anomalies that are going on in the mountain ranges and the sky watching. But when we were coming back from Oregon, we saw uh, three white ones and one black one in the sky, but we were by Mount Shasta. I heard again that the same kind of anomalies happen
Yeah.
up there. And of course, Sedona. If Sedona, Iseti is a lighter, gentler energy. Sedona is, wow. I mean, you can. It's pungent. I mean, if you're sensitive to it, you will absolutely love Sedona. I don't know why, you know, it is that way. Maybe it was a tribe lived there that did a lot of sacred rituals that has gone into the earth and it is still into the soil. And
And
then
Bell Rock is a vortex. It's a known geomagnetic vortex.
I'm gonna pull this down so you guys can see me. You guys seen enough of Rainbow Room?
Yeah, that's cool.
So
You could
that,
frame that. You could frame that one.
let's see where it is. Yeah.
Love that lime green. The green is amazing.
And that is my daughter's favorite color.
Mm. And that ceremony that you did for your daughter up in one of the vortex sites, Eddie said he was beautiful.
There she is. And you're back.
That was an amazing ceremony that you did with the
Oh,
giant piece of rose quartz that you
I can't
actually
believe she
broke
found
up.
that. She
Yeah.
those stones. I'll show them to you guys. That's the only thing so far that I've been able to go through of hers, and that's because my husband brought it to me, and it was filled with all those beautiful crystals. But she found all those. None of those were purchased. She went to different places, and she just had an eye for it or drawn to them.
That
And
was huge. That was a
blood.
huge piece of quartz
Oh,
crystal.
the bag weighs about 30 pounds still. I mean, these are big rocks. I think I showed them to you once. They,
Yeah.
but I guess you know, you being there in person and holding it for yourself, you got a better concept of the size of these crystals that she, you know, found in these different locations that she went to, and they're just beautiful. And I still have a really nice piece of it. And what did you call it? An Alaskan pyramid, three-sided pyramid. Oh, there goes my dogs again. Sorry. It's probably going to set your dog off.
Oh, the Egyptian pyramid versus the Russian pyramid.
No,
The two different sizes.
no, you said, I thought it was you that said that how the crystal ended up, it was a three-sided pyramid.
Yes. Yeah.
And you said it was an Alaskan pyramid?
Well, we
Or
call that usually a Russian pyramid
Russian
because the
pyramid. Okay.
Egyptian one is four-sided, and it's like squatter, and you wound up with a three-sided pyramid, didn't you?
Yes.
To bring home.
Yes. I'm sorry. I'm looking at my husband. Hopefully he's doing something with puddles.
Say hi to Joe. He's doing something with Puddles, or is that your dog, Puddles?
Yes. I named
What a
her.
cute name.
I named her before I got her Puddles. Yes.
Aw, that is an adorable name.
Puddles the Pomeranian.
Oh my God, and mine's a Pomeranian poodle.
And I'm telling you, when I walked through the door in that dream that I had, I reached down and pet her. And then there she was. When I did actually finally wake up, there she was sitting outside the door, right
So what
where
do you
I
think of
pet
that
her.
dream? I didn't get to hear it all, and you didn't get to hear the message from the guy, did you? You didn't. You need to like do a meditation on it to figure out what was said.
Meditation, hypnosis. He was talking the entire time. So, and I'm not going to put everybody through listening to it again since, you know, I you know, shared the dream. But
I'll go back and
yeah,
re-listen to it. It's where you cut out and I couldn't hear you.
yeah, your computer needs help because you look great now and you can hear just
Well, it's a
fine.
brand new computer and it's HP, but it's logging on to the internet, and it's having trouble holding a Wi-Fi connection because of
Oh,
what's going on with our Wi-Fi, which could be related to Dorian, right? It could be storm related.
mm.
We're
Or
just hours away from catching the outer arms of that storm.
and please do keep us posted on what is going on with that storm and how
Yeah,
things
we'll
are
be
going.
fine. It's going 1 mile an hour, which is ridiculous it's going to take so long to work up the East Coast to Georgia, the Carolinas, and then out to sea. Now they're saying that it's going to crawl along the coast till Friday night. That is a super slow storm.
Okay, if it's going that slow, maybe it will start to dissipate.
It will dissipate, so the winds will die out and then the rain will come. Then they said more rain, less winds, more rain. We can take it, but we're on an aquifer here. We're not even on land. We're on a coral reef. That whole state of Florida is not really land. It's kind of scary, actually, which is why we get so many sinkholes. But, when it gets up to Georgia and the Carolinas, they can't soak up as much water as we can because we're on an aquifer. So
Well,
we'll let it go. We'll let it,
we
we're all
know,
blowing it
well,
away.
you know what? We know from experience when that storm came through with that lightning and everything, you can have a bubble right over you. You know it. You
That was
already know it.
amazing.
This is,
That storm. Go watch. I think John Binney's raw footage has the best storm footage, and he's got the lights on the mountain lighting up, and he's got us dancing in the vortex. So John Binney's raw footage video is worth a look for sure.
yeah, and that, I mean, it was raining so hard. I mean, but our
Mm,
tent lit up like it was daylight.
I bet.
And we stuck it out. We stayed in our tent. We didn't go running for cover. And
And you didn't get washed away. You didn't get wet, did you?
nope,
Did you stay dry?
we stayed dry. I went to sleep.
Wow. That is so cool. You're so brave with that lightning cracking all around.
Yeah, and well, my husband was having trouble sleeping because of the people were up so late, hooping and hollering out in that field, and our tent was like right there. And
Right on the Skywatch field. Yep.
yeah, any sounds and stuff, and he's like, hopefully by 3 in the morning, but they were keeping him up all night. Well, I told him, and he asked me how I could sleep through all that noise, and
You just blocked it out.
I said, I just make it a part of the background, blend it in, crash out.
I
So,
just
just like the
zone out with
storm.
it.
The storm
That's why
became
I
a part
slept
of
till
my
11 or 12
my
every day
background.
because you were always looking for me going, where is she? And I never made breakfast because we'd be out quietly in the field till 3 in the morning, but we'd go far away from Skywatch Field and we'd be quiet out there. We weren't really loud.
Yeah, he really is pretty good about quiet time. Yeah, I think he puts quiet time is between 11 o'clock at night and 9 a.m. in the morning. You shouldn't be making a lot of noise or
Well, we bumped
anything.
up into him right at the perimeter in front of Mount Adams. He was as quiet as anything. He just kind of snuck up on us. We were all quiet, and then we just stood there silently with Joe watching the mountain at night. So he
But
was a
it's
very peaceful
hard.
presence to be with, you
It's
know?
hard not to get excited when you're seeing stuff. I mean, that you've never seen before. It's hard.
Well, we think that lightning storm charged up that plasma field, and we saw it roll in at us in a yellow kind of smoke and cloud, and then put our hands in and they
10-minute storm,
sparkled.
remember? 10-minute storm. It was going to just blow right by.
It lasted how many hours?
Oh, it circled around us.
It was like a 4 or 5 hour
It got
storm.
stuck in the vortex.
It did, and it charged up that field. And the next thing we know, we're standing in there, and our hands are turning to bones. And then that was terrible. And then the bones disappeared, and we're like, "Oh, we're invisible. That's okay. We just didn't want to be skeletons, which is crazy."
Yeah, and we'll talk about plasma and orbs, and they're discovering that dark matter. They're leading now that it's energy, it's
It's plasma.
plasma. So I
I
mean,
know. I
it's
love that
like
video you
it's
did.
it's like you know, come on, the science is trying. Chug 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 chug.
Well, I follow Thunderbolts Project. Do you watch them? Do you
No,
watch Thunderbolts Project? You should watch them on YouTube. They are plasma scientists who are explaining black holes are plasmoids and dark matter is plasma. It's just the field, the matrix, all full of energy. And they even say that the sunlight does not shoot particles. Light is not particles. They say it shoots an energy through the plasma, and the friction of the energy makes the plasma light up. So that's what light is. It's lit up
Nice.
plasma. Isn't that cool?
Yeah, and even so at nighttime when you're getting like a thick beam of it down on you, that's a plasma
Yeah.
light. So you don't need the sun. It's
No, and what was that smoke about? Some of them would be straight light, and some of them would be swirly smoke light,
vortexy.
vortexy.
Yeah, like you're like going into another dimension.
Yes,
And
and
I
to be
wonder
fair,
about that is like dimensions. How close are we? And to these higher dimensions. I mean, are we all side
wow.
by side? Can we just phase in and phase out? That's what
Eddie
disappearing
Seti,
in the
we were
chair
phasing in and
made me think
phasing
of.
out. Eddie Seti, they were right there. The other dimensions were right there, and we would phase in and phase out. Our hands would come and go, our faces would come and go. We'd phase in and out of the dimension. So the other dimension had to be right there, don't you think?
Well, something was going on because I could feel it in my heart. It was like when I'm sorry, you guys. I don't know why this keeps doing this. It's blocking Eileen's face out.
Hello,
Go away.
hello, go.
There. Now you're supposed to be waving your arms around the box.
I was gonna do that.
But yeah, the vortexes and the spinning, it's back again. Wow.
I'm trying to put peace ears on the box.
It's it's gone now. It's there. Be
Oh,
gone
who
with you.
knows? I'm
Oh,
in a
you're
crazy.
back.
I brought an ESETI vortex back with me. I'm trying to see around the box. There
Lord,
we
I'm just
are. Look,
there. I'm just putting you over the box. I'll deal with that.
it's cracking me up.
It's been an hour. But I did want to talk about how close I think that the dimensions are. So when we talk about certain things, then weird stuff happens. And
That's what I've noticed too. When
how
we
close
talk and
are.
show funny things, then our electronics goes wonky. I think it's us. I think we're like ascending and we're getting ready for another dimension. So we're kind of messing with the electronics on our own dimension. Don't you?
Oh my god, now it's sending something else up. Oh my gosh. Ah. On that happy note, you guys, thanks for bearing with the show getting cut on and off, and my chat not being able to be pulled up like it should have been. And this has been the first time I've been live in such a long time, and I love you guys so much. And
You guys are so patient. So
yes,
patient.
yes, they are so loving, and I appreciate everyone so much. And do look at that codes that Liara's put out,
Liara's codes. Yep.
and let's try and work something out with that. And
And I do want to mention that Shiny and others felt that the vortex field we were in was the Yeti field. It was the dimension of Yetis because Bigfoot comes and goes into their own
that
dimension.
is not an acceptable word.
What's that, Yeti?
No, the other one. Don't say it.
Bigfoot?
Yeah,
Bigfoot's not.
we're probably gonna get cut off. Anyways, we're ready to get out of here. Anyways, but yeah, there's some really weird stuff, but I do suggest and recommend you go over and check it out and see if this could possibly, and the more of us that consciously put an effort towards this, we can overcome anything. Do you have any parting words?
Not at all. Just so good to connect with you, Michelle, and just chit chat like we used
Yes.
to. We'll do it again as soon as we get our. I don't know if I'll ever be in a normal electronic mode anymore. I really don't.
I don't know what is my computer is doing, but hold on, bear with me for just a minute. I'll be right back with you, and I will close up the show. I love you guys so much. Always remember to share what you know so we can all listen and grow. I appreciate you guys, and I will talk to you soon. Please like, share, and subscribe. Hit the bell to be notified of new postings, premieres, and live shows. If you'd like to sponsor the channel, the links are below. I have both Patreon and PayPal. And thank you, channel supporters. Without your support to keep things going, I don't know where I would be. It's people like you and your generosity that helps the work improve and for us to be able to grow. Thank you.